Dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao, bonjour, hola, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Ken at 10. How are you? I hope you're well. It is Friday, as many of you know. It's my favorite day of the week, 27th of January, 2023. Can you believe January is nearly over already? It's extraordinary, isn't it? Just planning for the Christmas party. Not really, but it makes you think how quickly the month seems to go by, doesn't it? It's just crazy out there. Today, I'm just looking at the property headlines, and to be honest, it's like written by Captain Obvious, I think. The first one is rents throughout Britain reach record highs. Well, for those of you that don't know, of course, when mortgage rates go up, so the cost of landlords go up significantly, and then they look to protect themselves by increasing their rents. And that's what's happened all over the UK, and rents are going up massively. It's not a surprise to anyone that's in the business, but if you're not, some of the headlines are quite shocking. Inner London rents have broken through the £3,000 a month barrier for the first time on average, and the average rent now stands at £2,480 per calendar month in London. A huge amount of money, especially for young people to find. And then the former Bank of England boss or chief economist, Andy Haldane, has warned of more pain to come from rising mortgage costs. Well, of course, if you watch the show regularly, we've already told you that interest rates are going to go up again on the 2nd of February, 0.25 or 0.5%. This may not affect your mortgage payments. This is not financial advice, of course, but bear in mind that increasing rates doesn't necessarily mean that your rate will increase. If you're on a fixed rate, then it certainly won't increase for the term of that fix. If you're on a tracker rate, it will increase. And they're the ones that are facing a lot of pain right now as people on trackers, or of course on variable rates as well. So in terms of the longer term rates, of course, what we're finding is that they have largely settled, and they already take account of the fact that the mortgage rates were likely to go up at the end of this month. So they may not change, even though the base rate changes. We may find that the base rates don't affect the longer term fixed rates, particularly the 5-year ones. It seems that the 2-year ones now are higher than the 5-year fixes, which is interesting because normally in what I'd call a normal market, if there's ever been such a thing these days, then we'd see the 2-year rate be slightly lower because you're locking down for 2 years than the 5-year rate. But it's kind of the other way around, it seems to me. So it's quite extraordinary. Just done a video for you if you're a landlord entitled, "Should I sell my buy-to-let property in 2023?" It's a question that we're getting asked daily now by landlords because there are so many headwinds, not least we've got the increase in mortgage rates, and then of course the other headwinds such as legislation that's forthcoming, EPC legislation, the Renters Reform Act and other things, plus the vilification of landlords. And I think a lot of it is that, the fact that in the press they always talk about the rogue landlord, don't they? I've never met one, I don't think. It's extraordinary that they seem to be everywhere else but here. It strikes me that there aren't that many of them around. Maybe they are up north, I don't know. Or maybe they're around and they just won't deal with an agent like us that's compliant. But it seems to me that the talk of rogue landlords is vastly overstated. And the majority of landlords, in my experience, are small individual investors that want to look after their tenants, have a quiet life, and earn some income while they're at it. And why not? You do the same with other investments. Why not property? It's a business like any other. Why do I like Friday so much? That's the question. And the answer is because we have the promise of the weekend ahead. And in a estate agency, it's the day we're looking to get everyone out viewing. The idea is that people are most likely to view on a Saturday, and therefore anyone that we've got on the market right now needs us to push to make sure that if people are out looking in their price range, that our clients are getting the viewings from those applicants looking for properties in their range. It's not a mudslinging exercise. It is about discussion. It is about finding out people's needs, wants, likes, and realism. What I mean by that is one of the questions we often ask is, how long have you been looking and what's the best one you've seen? And if the answer is I've been looking for 2 years and I've never seen anything I like, we know that's an unrealistic client. If they've been looking for 4 weeks and they've seen 2 they like already, they're more likely to find, and they're the one that we would concentrate our efforts around in terms of viewings, because our vendors, as much as they want to see people through the door, sellers of course want to see people through the door. The other side of the coin is they don't want mudslings. They don't want people that are just viewing their house for the sake of it. They want people that are serious, motivated, and likely to buy. And that means understanding what the buyer wants, whether the house fits that criterion, and if it doesn't, having a discussion with that applicant and being honest and owning it. And if it doesn't have that 100-foot garden they're asking, saying, well, actually, the garden's only 50 feet, which may not be exactly right for you. But what it does have that you might not expect is a fantastic garden room, which takes up some of that garden space and is well worth the difference. See if you can do that. And that's what we do as agents, is try and sell the benefits of the particular property pertaining to that particular applicant and their circumstances. And that's what any good agent does, really. So we call it the ring round, and we're always on it on a Friday, making sure that our vendors are getting the very best out of viewings for the weekend. So a big day for us, making sure we get those viewings out. And then, of course, Saturday is a great day because we're actually meeting the people and accompanying them, which we do for most of our vendor clients, and actually show them around. Never in a block. Only when it's an auction do we do a block. Other than that, we do individual viewings so people get their own space in a house. We think that's most important, that people are given the respect. They're spending a lot of money of some time in the house on their own to get an idea, given that it's probably the biggest purchase of their lives. It's not an unreasonable ask. And so many agents these days seem to herd everyone out like cattle, everyone in like cattle and out like cattle. Buyers don't like it, sellers don't like it, and it doesn't, most importantly, get the best price for the seller. And that's what we're all about. So thanks for watching. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. We'll be back on Monday with another edition. Till then, look after yourselves, and if you can, your family and friends. Ciao.